Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Reacts. Today we're checking out a new vid from Connie X about giving the Digimon from Digimon Survive custom Digivolutions. No spoilers, as it says right here, so let's hop in and see who gets what to become what.
This video
Well,
contains no spoilers past or including Chapter 5 of Digimon Survive, and features no plot-critical spoilers or deaths from the entire game. Well,
nice.
hard to believe that Digimon Survive has been out a month already. I really can't believe that.
Whoa.
Someone pinch me.
Already been out for a month. Damn, even I didn't know that.
But here we are, and now I know all the endings. I've gotten a ton of ideas for videos. Oh, so much is coming for you. I don't want to spoil you right now, though, on the content of Digimon Survive, so let's do something a little safe today. A really fun what if. So I've rounded up some of my favorite artists to work with to explore a concept we've known long before release was not on the table for Digimon Survive. And that is, what if Digimon Survive's partner Digimon could armor Digivolve?
Let's check out these brand new Armor Digivolutions!
What is up, digital companions? My name is Carney X, and welcome back to another video. And if it's not welcome back, like, subscribe, ring that bell to make sure that it is welcome back next time. To be part of the family, part of the community, part of the Carnations. Don't like that. So yes, giving armor Digivolutions to the Digimon Survive Digimon. Now, part of this video does kind of involve assigning crests to the Digimon Survive humans, but I do want to make it clear here that these might not be my final crest picks for all the kids. I nominally agree with most of them, but there are a few moments in different endings that to me might indicate that some kids might shift between two. But for the purposes of this video, I think the ones that I have picked fit quite well. For this video, we're also omitting the Digi-Eggs of Kindness, Miracles, and Destiny, mainly for some spoiler reasons that if you played the game once you probably understand, not related to Armor Digi-Eggs, you know what I mean, but also because maybe we'll save them for a future video. So let's begin with Ryo and Kunemon. I gave Ryo Sincerity, and again I'd like to dance around spoilers, but I think being sincere, being open is a key trait to Ryo. And if we go on the Japanese version of that crest, I think Ryo does also embody purity to a degree. Again, I'm being very careful here, but past a certain point, I do think that Ryo does embody this crest quite well. And I think if you've played Survive a couple of times, you can probably see what I mean. So, taking the Digi-Egg of Sincerity, Kunemon armor Digivolves to become Danamon, designed by All Trade. Danamon gets its name from the Dana, a family of dragonflies. But according to All Trade, despite the harmless nature of its namesake, this bug will break you. It can throw its claws like boomerangs to tear its prey to shreds with shocking precision. Even with its seeming lack of eyes, it's capable of seeing the bioelectric aura of any potential enemies within a certain range around itself.
Like a
but despite its dangerous appearance, Danamon is actually rather skittish, cowardly almost, and prefers to attack from a distance when the opponent least suspects it. I think the challenge of combining the Digi-Egg of Sincerity with Kunemon and producing something that feels unique from both Flymon and Kuwagamon, some very common Kunemon evolutions across all of Digimon media, was a real challenge that All Trade nailed. Plus, using the Digi-Egg shurikens as big claws, inspired. Then moving over to Shuji, I have given him knowledge. There was a great temptation to give Shuji reliability just like Joe, but I ultimately felt someone else embodied reliability a bit more. As such, knowledge fills the gap there. Shuji supposedly knowing more than the others, being older and wiser, and expected to be more smart and knowledgeable by his family. And so his Lotmon will armor Digivolve with the Digi-Egg of Knowledge. According to Digmon's reference book listing, the Digimental of Knowledge has the attributes of Earth, and those that don this Digimental would wield the power to manipulate the Earth. So I wanted to preserve that feel with this. Lotmon becoming a powerful digging machine bunny I have dubbed Excamon, drawn by some guy.
Hold on. I just have to say this quick. It has built arms, but look at those legs. This is the epitome of never do leg day. This is like the Knuckles from Sonic Boom. It's got the built arms, even built ears, but terrible from like the chest down. I'm not trying to make fun of the art. Okay, I am trying to make fun of the art, but seriously, who else doesn't see just yellow and brown Knuckles, Sonic Boom Knuckles? Like, come on. Anyway, the art is still good, still amazing, still great, some guy. Hey, but I'm done. I'm moving on.
944. The name Excamon coming from both excavation but also excelling in a subject or field. As most rabbit species in the wild live in underground burrows that they dig, this just felt like a really perfect pairing. This Digimon would have an arsenal of attacks similar to Digimon, but also would make huge advantage of its digging ability to burrow under the ground and surprise opponents by popping up where they least expect it to. Saki then, to me, felt natural to get Hope. She is a reasonably hopeful person, and I think the kid who probably sees the most hope in the world of the Kemonogami. She also, to me, felt like one of the first to put a positive or hopeful spin on each scenario too, due to her own personal reasons. As such, Saki's Floramon Hope armor form is this, Chlorismon, designed by HLR, and named after the Greek goddess or nymph of spring, flower, and new growth, Chloris. After all, Hope does spring a turtle.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyway, Chlorismon is, in my opinion, a truly beautiful Digimon, taking those elements familiar from Pegasusmon, including her name being Greek, but doing something very new with it. Its stamen now a full-on whip of hope it uses to corral its opponents.
We're back from the break.
And the counterpart to Hope in Adventure and 02 is Light. And given that Saki is only 1 year older than her, I have given the Digi-Egg of Light to Miu. As the youngest of the group, she is probably the most pure, and also I think represents light and the future of this group of Kemono-destined. She also has a fascination with the dark and spooky, with yokai and spirituality, which I think a Heart of Light would help her traverse. But I will also say sincerity would have been fun for her, as her early personality probably does tie into Mimi a lot. Again, if you know, you know. But let's stick to our guns and have Miu's Shakomon armor digivolve with the Digi-Egg of Light to become Mirage Dramon, designed by Dry. According to Dry, both the Chinese and Japanese mythologies share the story of giant clams that create mirages, and are either sea monsters or shape-shifting dragons. These are called Shen or Shinkiro, respectively, which would likely mean Mirage Dramon's Japanese name would be Shinkiromon. Dry said, and I agreed, that Miu and Shakomon have eccentric personalities and both hide their true selves in some way. Miu hides her true feelings with the way she acts and speaks, and Shakomon hides its physical body inside the clamshell. Furthermore, it was Miu who initially led the group into the temple, igniting the events of the game. As such, Dry designed its armor evolution using the Digimental of Light based on the giant clam myth, the result being a cloudy figure inspired by Chinese dragons and consequently Holy Dramon as well, that guides others to safety or to their doom depending on its mood. Its true form is unknown, as even its armor is a mirage cast by the clam shell. This myth also adds yet another layer of symbolism and connection to the crest, because what is a mirage if not a trick of the light? I absolutely love this take on an armor for Shakomon, because it really feels very different to what we know, but actually ticks most of the armor requirements we're looking for while still doing something fresh. But what about Miu's brother, Kaito? Well, I assigned him the Digi-Egg of Love. I think particularly familial love, his love for his sister, is a hugely important part of his character, no matter how much he may struggle to not be selfish with that love. This familial love, I think, is a much more interesting and fun interpretation of love than just, you know, uwu romance love. Been there, done that in Digimon.
Family love, friend love,
so the love between siblings of Kaito and Miu, who are on Matt and TK of Survive, feels pretty great. So Dracmon with the Digi-Egg of Love becomes Storgemon, once again designed by All Trade. This is following the idea of armor evos taking traits from and resembling the champion forms of a Digimon, hence the resemblance to Sangloopmon, but also takes more influence from Kaito than Dracmon. Kaito is a guard dog for Miu. He doesn't really distinguish between genuine threats to her or perceived threats in strangers, so a blind German Shepherd style design seemed fitting. Storgemon is also given a collar with blood written on it in Digicode, both referencing Dracmon's, well, Draculaing, and the blood ties between its partner and his family. And the name Storge comes specifically from the Greek word for that, Storge, familial love. Love that is not romantic, love that is between family and friends. But All Trade actually designated this as Storgemon Fight Mode, as he also designed Storgemon Flight Mode, and said, Flight Mode was meant to feel more like a classic armor. Take Dracmon, stick metal to him, stretch the boy out, and boom. This design was meant to more invoke Dracmon's trickster tendencies and to feel like a guardian, a very gargoyle kind of vibe. Once again, some truly wonderful choices in design here from All Trade, and I think forms that feel very familiar to Dracmon and its evolutions, but also fresh and reimagined. And All Trade did add that he doesn't actually consider these mode changes per se, but more two possible forms that this armor Digivolution could take. Moving over to Aoi, I have given her friendship. Again, crest-like reliability, and maybe even love might work for her, but I think friendship sums her up well. She's described as the mom of the group sometimes, but definitely is the kind of second in command quite often who keeps the peace with everybody. She also has the beast Digimon of the group of 8, and so some Matt allegories I think are welcome here as an element of subversion, despite how much Kaito is very Matt-like too. So Labramon Friendship Armor Digivolves to become Barguestmon, designed by some guy 944.
Like
for me, I think we're weirdly lacking in dog Friendship Armor Digimon, given that Garurumon the Wolf is the inspiration for it.
Nice.
So this makes a lot of sense to me, with the Digi-Egg armor forming in familiar ways to Raidramon, but also more suited to a dog, with even the teeth of the Digi-Egg made into a dog muzzle with teeth. It gets its name from the Barghest, a North English mythological monstrous black dog with large teeth and claws. And I specifically decided to tie it into the common black dog mythological creatures, because obviously it is a black-clad dog Digimon, but also because one of Labramon's very notable common evolutions across all Digimon media is Cerberusmon, which makes for a very fun connection, as according to Wikipedia, the origins of the black dog are difficult to discern. It is uncertain whether the creature originated in the Celtic or Germanic elements of British culture. Throughout European mythology, dogs have been associated with death. Examples of this are the Cwn Annwn from Welsh, Gum from Norse, and Cerberus of Greek, all of whom were in some way guardians of the underworld. So this design is just nice to see Labramon have an evolution that retains Labramon's body and form, while doing something new, and while tying into the recurrent black dog myths of European culture. Plus that cap is just adorable.
Here we go with the penultimate.
Is Minoru, who I have given courage. A lot of Minoru's chapter 1 and 2 story, and even later into the game, is about overcoming his worries, concerns and fears, and being courageous. Striking out into the world, trying food he doesn't know is safe, joining fights and making alliances despite his fear. A truly courageous lad, and so his partner Falcomon will Courage Armor Digivolve to become Kaibunmon, designed by Capney. Getting its name from Kaibun, the Japanese word for ash, this autumnal-feeling firebird is so much fun. Evocative of many firebirds before it, but also, of course, Flamedramon, especially in its bipedal nature. Kaibunmon would keep up Minoru's passion and fire of courage in battle to deliver devastating attacks to the enemy. I think Capney really excelled here at bringing forward a familiar silhouette and design from Flamedramon, but giving a much more avian feel that we really have never seen from the egg, and yet feels so fitting. And finally is Takuma, who I had to give reliability. The entire group of humans and Digimon rely on Takuma. They rely on him as the leader, they rely on him for battle, and of course they rely on him making decisions. Both in story and on a gameplay level, Takuma is the one peacekeeping, making decisions, and is looked to constantly for leadership, resourcefulness, and decision making. And as there's no crest of leadership, I think reliability to be relied upon makes perfect sense. Again, the
now that's an idea you could do with creating custom Digi-Armors. And I don't mean just specifically choosing one Digi-Egg and one Digimon and then all that, but I mean creating your very own Digi-Eggs. Like what you said, there was no crest of reliability? Create a crest of leadership. There already is reliability. It's right here on screen. I'm sorry, I meant leadership. A Digi-Egg of leadership. That could be cool.
JP version of reliability is funnily enough sincerity, but I think that is also applicable to Takuma. Regardless of whether we make moral, harmonious, or wrathful decisions as Takuma, the hope, the assumption is that those choices will be sincere. A lot of interactions with others get positive affinity when Takuma is sincere, and it's Takuma's sincerity that also ties into some decisions I can't talk about. So we're sticking with reliability for Takuma, and as such, Capney brought us home by giving Agumon an aquatic armor digivolution in Scuba-Dramon. I'm always most fond of armor Digimon that do something unique with the base rookie, and Scuba-Dramon is so unique. It also gives Agumon something he basically never gets, and that is an affinity and powers of the water and the ocean. Especially given the geography of the Digimon Survive world, you can 100% see how Scuba-Dramon would have been incredibly handy in battle and in traversing distances. Just a really great interpretation of the Digi-Egg of reliability here, and giving Agumon a whole new set of attributes. I love it. And that's it, Armor Digivolutions for the Digimon Survive partners. A huge shout out to the wonderful artists that made this video possible. Please do go follow them, the links are in the description down below. Some Guy 944, Old Trade, HLR, Dry, and Capney. Their talent is what made this video possible, so supporting them means the world to me. And a huge shout out to my Sovereign ZDK4.
And that's it. The rest of this is just gonna be him giving thanks to all his followers and Patreon and all that. So, that is what we're going to end off today's video. So, I want you all to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Down in the description will be a link to the original video. So remember to support the original creator and all they do. And I'll see all of you folks next time. Peace out.